You are now entering the Thick Goddess Energy Morning Show. We in the building. High priestess in the building, didn't let my fears kill me. Transmuted my pain in that cleanse in the rain. Found out I was working and I conquered my demons. I accepted my purpose and the goddess I became. Welcome, wake the fuck up. This is the Goddess Energy Morning Show, brought to you by Divine Moon Goddess Healers and Readings.com, where all of your questions get answered. And for the month of March, you can get any of the services 30% off using code FreshStart222. Okay. And we're also sponsored by Shanti Rentals Inc. And I don't know what else I'm supposed to say about that. If you would like to sponsor this morning show, information is in the description on where and how to contact me should you want to get your ads and all of that great stuff in here. Go ahead and look in the description wherever it is, and you can contact me if you would like to donate to the morning show just to say thank you for all of your fucking wisdom, Divine Moon Goddess. Information is in the description on where to find me. Okay. So I am your host, Ariana, aka Divine Moon Goddess, bringing you some real ass talk every morning. So I hope that everybody is doing good this morning. It's Monday, and I know Monday is always a drag. I did not want to wake up this morning. I wanted to just stay in my bed. It was a little chilly, so anytime it's cold, I get into hibernation mode. And that means I don't want to wake up or get out of hibernation mode. So I don't know how you guys did this morning, especially some of you guys that are in like snow. I don't even know how you guys get out of bed. Because me, I think I would be asleep for a few months of winter, and then people would see me back like summertime. I don't know. That's just my take on it, right? So, good morning. Couple announcements. I will be doing a healing circle today. I'm going to do it around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me write that down, before I fucking forget what I'm supposed to be doing. It will be located in my Soul Tribe group. And the group is, if you're not already in my Soul Tribe group, let me know. I'll drop a link in here somewhere. And it will be in one of the rooms. It will not be alive. It will be in the rooms because I get to see you in the rooms. We get to video chat in the rooms. So if you're not familiar with groups or the groups rooms, let me know. Get in my inbox because I will be doing a free healing circle today. I'm going to be focusing on childhood traumas and what your childhood version of you needs. Okay. So today, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the tribe, in a room. Hopefully you guys come that may want to do some healing. Okay. It's free. Free. Okay. It's free. It's free. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Porty. So, what else do we have to announcements wise? This week on Friday, also in my Soul Tribe, we will be raising money for epilepsy. Myself and my approved readers, once a month, we'll get together. We'll raise money for a cause. And so this month's cause, we are doing it for epilepsy. So definitely come and check us out on Friday in the tribe, and definitely come and participate and donate, of course. Give back to something greater than yourself. And we do it for no minimum. So there's no minimum or anything when it comes to the readings for a cause. So you basically could get a reading for $1 if you wanted to. So those are some things that are coming up this week. Those of you who celebrate St. Patrick's Day, I don't know what you're doing. Most people just get drunk. I mean, I don't know anyone who barbecues for St. Patrick's Day that I can think of. Good morning, Selena. So, whatever you're doing, be safe. I probably will do a live that day. Probably will do a live and you know, be all decked out, all festive. Good morning, Tiffany. Also, you guys know I teach tarot, I teach mediumship and development. A lot of you guys always ask like, what should you start first? I say mediumship and spiritual development would be the first class that you should take because it helps you open up your gifts. Hey, Betty, it helps you open up your gifts. Right now, I'm not doing any live classes, but you can watch a past class of myself from last year, which is not that long ago, to learn, right? Because I am teaching a class. I'm just not doing any live classes until fall. For those of you who are waiting until fall to sit in the classroom with me, that's fine. It's your choice, but you still can go learn. First one I would tell you is to do is the mediumship and spiritual development. Right now, it's on sale for like $75, which is really cheap. Um, Also, because it just teaches you how to protect yourself, how to ground energy, which are all important things on your spiritual path and opening up. Um, should you want to learn tarot, I do have a tarot class. That's a longer class, so it is more expensive, but it's still very cheap. I think it's 200 and something right now, and the original price is four something. On it, it's like 12 weeks. Well, it's actually 13 weeks. But if you're watching it in self learning, it's actually shorter. It's only 12 or 13 episodes that you need to watch and do, especially if you want to get certified. So you can do tarot if you are looking to brush up your skills. If you're learning, if you want to just learn tarot for yourself, you actually can do it as well. You were right on target of your readings. You gave me, my son moved out today, and you said someone was leaving, and not to be surprised when it happened. Well, damn, I love it when you guys come back and tell me. Well, at least it was not a bad prediction. Um, so I also teach shadow work, and if you guys have heard about shadow work, you know shadow work is one, it's when you're stuck in the rut. Okay, let's just talk about that real quick. Shadow work is when you're stuck in a negative pattern. Not to say everybody else is negative towards you. You're stuck in a negative pattern, meaning you can't get out of um of dating the same fucking toxic ass people, or your friends are toxic as fuck, or you keep doing the certain destructive or self-sabotage behavior in your life. That's why you would do shadow work. You wouldn't just do shadow work to fucking do shadow work unless you need to. Shadow work is very triggering. Excuse me. I've seen a lot of people do shadow work and that shit tear them apart. So I would say only do shadow work when you're called to do it and when you're really stuck in a very negative mode. I do one-on-one sessions, which you could see under my services. And then I also teach a class on it, okay? Although I'm revamping that one for my new platform, but for now you can do the class. I can't remember how much is it. Yes, Selena. Yep, you can inbox me and I can definitely navigate you and get you set up with an appointment, okay, after my live. But good morning. Hey, Babs. Morning, boo. Are you sick? Are you throwing up? What's going on with you? Um, I also I have a chakra class. If you want to learn about energy, energy is important. I am an energetic healer. I don't go by the term psychic. I think the term psychic is kind of played out, and everyone gets the wrong idea when you say psychic. You say psychic, and everybody's like, "Can you read my future?" And although sometimes I do pick up future energy, that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to tell you your future and tell you, I'm here to tell you the real from your soul. I'm here to tell you what's going on in your soul. And not a lot of people like that. My job is to tell you the shit that you don't want to see, the shit that you're avoiding, the shit that you tell yourself you're okay. That's what I'm here to fucking tell you through my readings, okay? Um there I do a lot of that energy work. That's why I have past life, not regression, but past life reading that you can book for. That's why I do the guided meditations one-on-one with you. And right now this month I have the healing guided meditation is on sale for $35. That's a steal. I want to say it's $35. So you can get a one-on-one guided meditation and get into that space and see what's triggering you, what's going on. You won't know until you start trying this stuff. And you got to look at it as self-development, right? Um, Self-development to do things, to make yourself better. Basically, that's the whole point of this shit, right? What else we got? We do have zodiac. Should you want to learn more about the zodiac? Everybody's been asking me about the birth chart class, or do I do a birth chart class? And I actually used to do one in the tribe, and it was free too. But I just don't have the time right now to do it. So I think I may put one together, but definitely not doing it right now, you guys. A lot of people have expressed interest, so I'm definitely got it on the back burner. But I don't have a class for that just now. We do have a class created by my admin, Lauren, where you can learn the basics of the zodiac and learn more about the zodiacs versus what you think you know, right? We do have chakra yoga. I would say try this chakra yoga. The chakra yoga is awesome. If you've ever tried yoga, it's not the same. It's definitely not the same as your traditional yoga. All right. Um, I think those are all my classes right now. I'm trying to think. I think I might be missing one or not. I don't know. I'm working on the Zumba class. I was up last night for about 5 hours straight practicing dance moves, and I am sore as fuck today. I am so sore today. My body is like, girl, what you thought? What's going on? I'm actually going to post a little snip, short or whatever you call it of me doing one of the moves, and it was pretty cool because that's the childhood version of me, the teenage blah, 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 teenage version, if I can speak. That's what she loved. She loved to dance, and so it was really cool to just dance last night because it brought me back to that space of being the 15-year-old doing all the dance moves and putting a dance routine together, because that used to be my thing, putting a dance routine together. Let's do this, and so it just brought me back to that space. It was pretty cool. Hey, Samantha, you said trigger finger operate Friday. Oh, okay. Oh, and you got the flu? Love, we're gonna send you some love and light, boo, always. So I think that's what we got going on coming up. If I'm missing something, I'm missing something. I don't know. So let's get into it though. This morning, I wanted to talk about what is a true life experience, right? Good morning, Chandel. Because we get very hung up on some things in life, and are we having a true life experience? And what does that mean to experience this life on Earth? Still 4 weeks recovery for right hand, but aw, that's why your words are all crazy, and I'm like, you're typing with the other hand. Yes, I actually love Zumba. I've always loved Zumba. I remember the first class I ever went to was back in like 2011, I want to say. And I've just always loved dance. My whole life I've always loved dance. I just didn't have the confidence to do it professionally. And I should have, because I actually was a really good dancer. Especially in my younger years, I was a really good dancer. I just didn't have the confidence to do it. So my Zumba is gonna be a little bit of Zumba trap Caribbean mixed. I've watched. I went through the Zumba certification last year, and I got my certification. But I don't want my class to be like everybody else's. You guys know I'm just not that person, right? And so I want to mix it up. I definitely want to have, your traditional Zumba techniques in there, but I also want to switch it up and have some hood shit and a little bit of twerk and a little bit of fun. Um, so that's what I was doing last night. Was putting some stuff together. I gotta find someone who knows how to do a mashup. So anybody watching this that knows how to take songs and do a mashup, get in my inbox because that's what I need. I need a cool ass mashup so I don't have to keep changing the songs through the workout and I can just focus on the workout because that's a pain to have to sit and keep clicking and changing. I'm very young, Babs, but you do not know how my knees feel today. My knees is like, excuse me, ma'am. When's the last time you stretched? When's the last time you stretched, ma'am? So I do have to do some stretches before. I don't know if I'll be able to practice today. My body's like really sore. So I might not. But anywho, so that's coming. I'm going to have a date for April. The first class will be April. Right now, I may only be able to commit to either once a month Zumba class or twice a month Zumba class. I'm trying to do it twice a month, but I may not be able to commit twice a month right now. Right now, so it might have to be once a month until I get more time. But I will let you guys know more as I'm working along and getting it prepared. I'm also going to start my advertisements about it also and put it on my website for booking. Um, yes, the knees. And you know what? I don't have bad knees, but part of my workout had a lot of squats and I had to keep doing it to test it with the other moves. And so when you do like 100 fucking squats, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it. Um, you're gonna feel it, right? So yeah, my knees is feeling it. My knees is feeling it. Yes, definitely gonna have the Divine Moon Goddess style. Some of it is to be sensual, to get back into your femininity, and some of the moves are kind of very, sensual and loving to self, right? Seductive because we want to be goddesses, right? That's the whole fucking thing. I'm a goddess, so we're gonna do some goddess shit, right? You see, the siren said yes. So let's get back to the experience. She said my legs and mouth are fine. So let's Zumba. I don't know if you need your mouth in Zumba. All right, let's get back to life. So, what is a life experience here on earth? You know, um, if you're someone who's been through some stuff, you get through you get through to a place where you just don't want to hurt anymore. You're like, I just don't want to hurt anymore. I just want to be happy, right? And we say that like a million times. I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy, and we forget that this life comes with sadness. The experience is not all happy, joy, um, laughter all the time. You can choose to be happy through the pain. You can choose to smile through the heartache. You can choose these things, but it doesn't mean that you can be numb to these experiences, because all emotion is an experience in this life. We've been otherwise we wouldn't get angry. Angry wouldn't be a thing if we weren't supposed to experience it and understand how it could take us to the wrong place. I don't want to say the wrong place, but it could take us to a devastating place or a destructive place, right? Or it could take us to a place where we stand and fight for something, because anger is not always bad. If you look at anger, um, in it, it can definitely push you to fight for what you love, fight for your dreams, fight for equality, because you're so angry at something that you've been watching. So the experience of anger comes in many ways. Um, we would like this world to be all peace and joy, but it's not. It isn't. Now we can create peace and joy, and we can create love, and we can create these very things in our life. But to think that life is just going to be that all the time is a misconception of what we came here for. We came here to experience, we came here to feel, all right? And when you feel, you're going to feel everything. That means hurt, pain, tears, you know, jealousy. If we weren't supposed to feel these things, they wouldn't be here. It wouldn't be a thing. You got to think of our creator energy, right? The creator would just come and like shut shit down, right? In some way, shape, or form. So you got to think of it. We're meant to feel it, but we're not meant to stay in it. That's the thing. You're meant to feel it and feel, what is jealousy? Why am I jealous of something else or someone else? We've all had a point in our life where we were jealous and we didn't even realize it. The second we said, man, I wish I could have what that person has. The second we said, man, I wish I could walk like that person's walking. I wish I could dance like that person's dancing. Oh, I wish I looked good in that dress like she looked good in that dress. The minute we said that, we were in jealousy. The biggest thing is just not to stay there, because we're meant to experience it. We're meant to feel it, and we're meant to understand what that looks like. And then we're meant to shift out of it because we don't want to stay there, right? But we're taught to demean everyone from having these emotions and feelings. That if you get into this space where you feel it, where you're a piece of shit or you're this, you're that. And that's not the case. Everyone goes through moments of, damn, I wish I had it as good as those other people. Whether you're looking at a community, whether you're looking at a society, whether you're looking at someone of a different color, there's always a moment where someone has sat back and said, man, I wish I had it like somebody else. That is a state of jealousy. Doesn't make you a bad person. It just means that I don't know why I'm nasally as shit this morning. Good morning, Sasha. Don't ask me what's going on with my ear, nose, and throat. Nose and throat today. So we're meant to feel it, just not stay there. If you look at envy, which for me, envy and jealousy is kind of the same shit. All of this stuff we were meant to experience. Um, even to the extent of death. We were meant to experience death, not just our own death, but people around us. Biggest thing, and you guys have heard me say this before, is I feel like people don't show us how to deal with death. No one's training us in our childhood how to deal with death and what does death mean, and when death comes, how should we react to it? Why is it like every truck and shit outside? No one teaches us that. So when death finally does knock on our door, right? It's hard. We can't comprehend. We can't understand it. We don't want to accept it. But those are all emotions, feelings that we're meant to process in that time, you know, understanding that life is quick. In a blink of an eye, this shit is over. And to appreciate our days every day, you know, is part of it. But it's also there for us to feel the bad shit too. Um, when you look at someone who um, when you look at someone who's very like angry and mean, and you know they're constantly in this state of just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's someone who's choosing to be in that experience. We may not understand it. We don't have to understand it, right? um, One of the things is we always are trying to change people into who we want them to be or who we think they should be, right? We do this constantly trying to mold people into what we think they should want or be. And you got to focus back on you and what you are experiencing. What are you going through? What are you connected to in this life? What are you kind of like, what am I seeing? And am I seeing this life shitty as fuck, or am I seeing this beautiful and there is this, um, there's a beauty to this life? With all of the dark shit and bad shit that happens, right? The fucked up people, murders, killings, and all of this stuff, there's still so much beauty in the world. The world is not just it's not just shitty. I think we have to just tweak how we see things, tweak what life is, right? Um, that's why a lot of people go through, what is life? Why am I here? Trying to figure out the whys of why are we here. It's very simple. You're here to experience. And if you could just live your life to the fullest every day, like every day you get up and you're just like, I'm just going to try something new every day. And I don't care if it's going to a new coffee shop, I don't care if it's taking a walk down a different park, or, I mean, do be careful with the parks that you choose, right? Or the neighborhoods you choose to go into. But try something every day new. I'm gonna do, the biggest thing is doing shit that scares you. We've talked about this before, because in this life, the shit that scares you is the shit that you probably should be doing. That's the stuff that probably you should be testing out because you're deathly fucking afraid. You're afraid of it. I'm not saying go and climb Mount Everest if you have a fear of heights, but generally, if you are afraid of some stuff, go test it out, you know. But remember, when you're hurting, when someone breaks your heart, remember it's a part of this life to understand what that feels like. Your heart is very resilient. And although we go through some very serious breakups, right? And then we get so scared to love again. We get so scared to let somebody in again, right? And we're just like, nope, I'll never let no one break my heart again. Oh, hell no. Um, but we do ourselves a disservice, because it'd be, if you can just think of it as, it'd be better to love for 2 weeks versus never at all. Good morning, Hope. Think of it. Think about that. Wouldn't you rather be loved to the fullest for one fucking day versus never having love ever? Never knowing what love feels like? If we can change our perception on things, instead of like, oh, I don't want to be hurt because it's not going to last. Like, I don't want to try because it's not going to last. I don't want to give my all because unless I know that this person is going to be with me forever and ever and always, right? And we just sign up for the experience. And whether it's one day, 1 week, 5 years, 10 years, 2 days, we just enjoy it to the fullest. But we get so caught on wanting things forever. What is wrong with our society that everything has to be forever? And if it's not forever, we don't want it. We don't want to waste our time. That's what you hear. I used to be a person that would say this shit too. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my time on this. Is it really time wasted if you took something from it? It's not time wasted. It's an experience in this life. So if this is what it's for, and this is why we are here, why are we running from short-term experiences? Why do we only want the long-term shit? Why do we only want stuff that seems, because it's a facade, right? We'll look at someone who goes from job to job, and we'll look at them like they're nothing, and they're unstable or unstable, and we will look down on them, right? And then you look at someone who's going to their one job, and they have this false sense of stability because they feel like they'll be working there forever, and then they get laid off. It's an experience. So everything, stuff that scares you, do it. Some of you have been sitting at the same crappy ass job for a long time. Leave. Leave. I know it's scary. I wouldn't leave unless I have something else lined up. But crack that resume out. Brush it up. Look at it. Submit it. See who calls you, Love, I think, is one of the biggest ones, and Spirit's having me go back to love. Especially if you've lost. I come across a lot of people who have lost the love of their life. And when you lose a great connection, like they're not just broken up, they're gone. You've lost them. That's hard to come back from. That's hard to open up again because you're like, no one's going to feel like this person felt. And granted, you could be true. That could be true. That could very well be so. But that doesn't mean someone can't love you or show you affection or be there for you or support you in this life, right? And even though some of the partners aren't as nice as like, yeah, just, move on, babe. For the most part, happiness is happiness, I've seen people move on and other people get mad. Like, how could you move on? This is life. It's it's life, and shit happens. And I don't think if someone passes, you should ever just sit alone for the rest of your life because this person's gone. I think they'll understand eventually in spirit. They will understand that you've moved on. They will understand that you need that comfort that they can't give you in this life, especially in spirit form, right? I don't know if y'all doing some crazy dream sex, but they know they can't, they know they can't. So living a true experience of life as humans, right, in this 3D form, because a lot of spiritual people get caught up in the 5D, and we forget that we are still humans with human needs, right? I'm a human, I'm a woman, I have needs, okay? This spirituality shit is not just, oh, I'm just a spirit floating around the earth. We're very spirit, right? But we have a body, we have a physical body, and we have to remember that. Touch, feel, senses are everything. It's what we're supposed to be doing. Everything, all of this, feeling, experiencing, hearing, all of that is a part of it. Every last bit. Hearing someone's voice, whether it irritates you or not. Because I've had people, just their voices irritated me. And I'm like, why? Why is the octave of this person irritating the fuck out of me? Right. I did too, Betty. I did too. I turned my back on love, and I was a self sabotager in love. And so even if I did get a nice guy that would come around, I would do some pretty shitty stuff to make him be like, this bitch is crazy or she's trifling as fuck. And then they wouldn't trust me in the beginning. So I would go for the guy that I knew it wasn't going to work. You know when someone has like ain't shit energy, the ain't shit energy, you know. And I was a very huge self sabotager in love. I didn't want to go there again. And even now, I still have a fear that pops up that I have to actively work through it. I'm very aware. When you get to a point of awareness, you can work through your shit. And it doesn't affect you as bad because you can sit and say, okay, I know this is going on. I know this is a thing. I'm still going to face this fear and not run from it anymore, right? And so now I can do that. There was a time where I didn't understand that and I just kept running, kept running. So now I know it comes up. I have this fear that comes up of opening my heart space and being that vulnerable with someone because it's a scary place. You know, it's a scary place to give your heart to someone and say, hey, yeah, fuck it up, break it. It's okay. I'm down for the ride. It's a very scary place to be. So I do get it. I understand it. But I've gotten to a place, and maybe it's my age, that I realize that it's better to have that short term love than no love at all. Because I went through a lot of years just being single, not dating nobody, in my own little world. And although that taught me to learn a great deal about myself and become very self sufficient as a woman, you know, because, we're bred to fucking be dependent on a man. That also bit me in the ass because then I was too dependent, too independent. And a lot of men didn't like that. It's like, you don't need me for shit. And so their insecurities would come up. And I didn't realize that because no one ever told me that, but I could feel like, what the fuck? Wouldn't you want an independent woman? Wouldn't you want a woman that can handle her own? And a lot of guys don't because they get very, very insecure that you don't need them. So you could just throw them to the side. See, they have their own insecurities. They just don't say. And no, it's not like anybody was ever going to tell me. Still, I don't regret my actions because I know I was meant to meet someone later on in my life. I know my person wasn't meant like in my younger years. All the people I've met, I know they weren't my person. They weren't the person I need, like the person I was going to be with, at the end of my life. I see that now. I realize that now. But of course, you don't know it at the time. There was a time I used to think like, damn, if only I had did this and maybe I would have married, because I'm a woman, that's unmarried and, maybe I would have had more kids in life, but it wasn't meant to be, right? So once you work through your shoulda, coulda, wouldas, you'll see that a lot of stuff just wasn't meant to be. And the people that you're meant to deal with or have kids, they come along, you have them, right? I don't know if I believe in missed opportunities anymore. When I look back at my life, I think we want to believe, oh, I missed that opportunity, but I don't think so. I don't think it's a missed opportunity. It's a choice. I had a choice. I could have chose to be with someone younger in my younger years and have more kids, but I didn't. My choice was to be by myself and fuck it all up. That's a choice. So it's not necessarily a missed opportunity, is it? Right, Betty, right. Be choosing the most idiotic person to try to have a relationship with, which I never really tried to have a relationship because nobody was invited to my home. Nobody met my daughter. I had this very big fear of 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 anyone, a man coming to hurt my daughter. And the thing, it wasn't just about raping or molesting her. It was the fear of them leaving and she would be burned like her dad did her. And so I didn't want her to not only be neglected and abandoned by her father, but then turn around and have another man do it and abandon her. Because I was like, if her own father because could leave her and go raise somebody else's kids and then leave her in the dust, then what would a man that's not even her biological father do? And so that fear took a huge hold over me. And unfortunately, I let that be a huge deterrent for having healthy relationships when I was younger. You live and you learn. Single motherhood was hard as fuck for me. So I made a promise to myself that I never wanted to be a single mom again. And I understood how valuable it is for a child to have both parents. You could be the strongest woman ever. And there's a lot of us out here that are super, super fucking women, super moms. That does not take away the fact that the father is very important also. And so I am an advocate when it comes to, like, the baby daddies being in the child's life, because it's very important. I believe the father should be present. The father should be there. There's things that the father can teach the child that the mother just cannot, no matter how strong, no matter how smart, no matter how outgoing, or whatever you got going on. There's things that the father has to teach the child. you know and in my experience, like, I used to be like, well, fuck it. I was a very good single mom. I did the best that I could, but I see how my daughter's father not being in her life, how it hindered her. And then there was nothing I can do, and I would tell him that, there was nothing that I could do for her, because his relationship, that was going to be the make or breaker of her next relationships when she got older. And sure enough, it did. One of her baby daddy, one of her first damn relationships, the guy was abusive, destructive and abusive. So our life is not going to be all rainbows, butterflies, depending on the decisions we make, right? Depending on the roads that we take, because there's always choices in front of us. Like, when we're looking at it, there's always a choice. There's many roads in front of us. There's many. That's why you hear the term alternative realities, alternative timelines. It's because when we're sitting here going to make a choice, there's infinite opportunities in front of us, right? Infinite of what we could do. When we choose, we create that line. We create that line that goes to that particular timeline, right? So that's what's going on. It's not a missed opportunity. You're choosing. You got to remember, you've chosen this. So you can't go back to, oh, I missed out on this. I should have did this when I was younger. No, you didn't. You chose to do something else. You got to get out of that. Let it go. Because we all have choices in front of us. In our experience, we could choose a million fucking things. But once you make that choice, you got to go with it. Stick with it. Go with it. That's your choice, right? Good morning, Janelle. Right, right. You should, Shondell. You should definitely make me a shirt. Um, I do believe it. Like I said, even though I have been a single mom that did not have help, I watched my brother go through not being able to be a father to his child, and having that be a big issue. And I do understand the importance of a father in a child's life. And I never kept my daughter from him, ever. He always had the opportunity if he wanted it. It was never anything where he couldn't see his child or couldn't be there for her. Or even I gave her the opportunity for her to live with him. So there was never any excuse of the wise, right? So I do believe that a father is very important, especially in a daughter's life. Especially in a daughter's life, you guys. Whatever you do, if you are able to have the father in the child's life, choose to have the father in the child's life, not because he cheated on you and all this shit and you're still pissed off and mad at him because he fucking cheated on you. That's nothing to do with his child. You know, when I look back at my father, and he wasn't the best dad, right? He didn't know how to be a dad. No one taught him. No one taught him. He didn't have a dad in his life. His mom was she was a piece of work. We'll just say that she was a piece of work, right? She was so much a piece of work. I don't even connect with her in her death. um, my father was very violent, right? This was a man in violence. This was a man that hit his woman, you know. Even before my mom, the woman he had, he hit her. But I can tell you, my dad never laid hands on me. I think I got hit with the belt like one or two times as a kid from my father. The most he would do is yell. That's it. There was something about me as his daughter that just was different. It was different, and you could tell that that man had this unconditional love for me. Um, so I do believe that a daughter and a father, man, it's different. Just like a mother and her son, it's different. And people don't like to look at it like this because everyone gets the oh, ill, that's gross. But you are a mother is the first relationship that a boy will have. She sets the tone of what type of woman he's going to have when he gets older, or he'll run from it. It's either or. He'll either date someone just like his mother, or it'll be the opposite, right? If you see girls, they end up dating someone just like their dad, or the opposite, right? So you're gonna the connection is gonna make or break your child's relationships because you are the first relationships of your child. We don't look at it like that, but it very well is like that. Right, Janelle. Yeah, I didn't get child support when I never got child support. So, there was these random times where we'd get like $20 or something magically from child support whenever they took his license or some shit and he had to pay that. Um, and it was just like I would just tell my daughter go to the store. I mean, she would go to the store with it. What you gonna do with 20 fucking dollars? Even back then, it's like that's not gonna pay shit. She said, not Caribbean parents. What do you mean, like the dynamic with mom and dad? I still think a father is very important for a daughter. I don't care where you're raised. I think a father is very, very important, the connection with the daughter. And I do feel like a mother and a son's connection because that's the very first relationship you have. So, um, I'll tell you one of the things we just realized with my grandson. My daughter, who, of course, the baby daddy was very violent and abusive, right? And so then my daughter turned very violent and abusive with her next relationship, which her next relationship, the guy was not abusive and he was not aggressive, but my daughter was the aggressive one. And so she would call him names and demean him. And recently, my grandson came home like he has a little girlfriend, or not anymore. He broke up with her, but he has a little girlfriend. And one of the things about the little girl is she's mean to him. He's like his little girlfriend is mean to him. She calls him names, hits him, all this crazy shit, right? And so my daughter was like, Mom, you got to talk to him. You got to talk to him. I don't know. So I was talking to him and I realized that that's because what he saw. He thinks it's normal. He thinks it's normal for a girl to be abusive or crazy or fucking mean. And I had to talk with my daughter about it. Like, that's what you've shown him. So he thinks that it's that's how it is. So yeah, I do believe that we show the connections. We are those first relationships for our kids. Oh, yeah. I mean, my mom had the flip flop. My mom was the flip flop hitter. My dad had a belt, But most of the time, my dad just used to make the noise of the belt. He didn't actually hit us. Like, I swear, my dad was a very violent man, but he was not violent to me and my brother. It was different, especially with me. Now my mom was different. My mom would slap me. She was a different woman, and she had the flip flop. Now I know there's the stories of the switches and all that stuff. My mom and dad didn't do the switches. I remember seeing a lot of my friends get whipped with switches though, but I still So in his life, regardless, right? Regardless of to what you're doing, what you're going through, um, just remember it's a part of your experience, good or bad. Take it for what it is. Don't let it suffocate you into thinking that life is just so shitty and life is just so fucked up. You know, life has